July 13th, 1977. Exactly at 8:37 p.m., a massive lightning bolt struck the New York sky.
In a split second, the most powerful and brightest metropolis on Earth vanished into total darkness.
Neon lights died instantly, leaving millions of people stranded in an eerie, deathly silence. Beneath the streets, thousands of commuters were trapped inside dark, suffocating subway tunnels. City elevators hung frozen in mid-air, while engineers scrambled in panic at control centers.
This wasn't just a simple blackout. It was the ignition of a deep-seated social explosion. As midnight approached, the dark alleys of Brooklyn and Harlem unleashed absolute chaos.
Storefront shutters were smashed open as waves of people rushed in to grab whatever they could.
Police forces were completely overwhelmed, unable to cope with the sudden eruption of crime.
By midnight, the night sky was no longer dark. It was painted with the flames of a burning city. How did a city this size collapse into madness in just a matter of a few hours?
To understand the disaster, we have to look back at the scorching summer of 1977.
New York was already suffering. Bankruptcy loomed, and crime rates were at an all-time high. The city was a powder keg, and the consolidated Edison power grid was about to light the fuse. High above Westchester County, a severe thunderstorm was brewing over the Hudson Valley. At 8:37 p.m., a bolt of lightning struck a vital transmission line with terrifying precision. Instantly, a massive surge of electricity slammed into the Buchanan South substation. Circuit breakers tripped, failing to handle the load. A domino effect had officially begun. Power lines connecting Indian Point to the rest of the city suddenly went dead, one by one.
Generators shut down automatically to protect themselves from melting under the extreme voltage overload.
Con Ed operators watched in absolute horror as their master control boards turned pitch black.
In less than a minute, the entire transmission system protecting New York collapsed completely. Over 9 million people were plunged into a darkness they had never experienced before.
Bright lights of Broadway, the pride of America, flickered twice and vanished into the night.
Tourists and theatergoers spilled out onto the dark, chaotic pavements, not knowing what to do. Above ground, traffic lights died, turning every major intersection into a deadly game of chance.
Drivers slammed on their brakes, horns blared, and total gridlock paralyzed the major avenues.
Deep underground in the subway system, absolute panic began to take root among commuters. Trains ground to a halt between stations, miles away from any platform or exit. Passengers pried open doors with their bare hands, stepping out onto dangerous live tracks. Guided only by cigarette lighters and small pocket flashlights, they navigated miles of dark tunnels. Surface, the psychological shift in the city was swift and terrifying. In 1965, people helped each other through the dark. But 1977 was a different beast altogether. This city was broke, angry, and drowning in a deep economic recession.
The blackout acted as a catalyst, unlocking the pent-up frustration of neglected neighborhoods.
In Bushwick and Harlem, iron security gates on storefronts were the first things to give way. Glass shattered into 1,000 pieces as a mixed group of older adults and young adults, including various indigenous and mixed race. It wasn't about survival. It was an equal opportunity looting frenzy spanning all 5 boroughs.
Appliances, expensive clothes, and brand new televisions were hauled out into the open streets.
Faster, keep it moving. Watch out, coming through. Get these moving.
The NYPD emergency dispatch system was flooded with over 10,000 calls an hour, but dispatchers couldn't send help because patrol cars were hopelessly trapped in traffic.
With no police presence to stop them, the looters grew bolder and more destructive.
Then came the second wave of devastation: arson. Fire was weaponized to cover up crimes.
Across the city, old wooden structures and abandoned buildings were torched systematically.
Fire departments were stretched beyond their absolute breaking point, facing hundreds of fires at once. Firefighters fought valiantly, but water pressure dropped to dangerous levels across multiple districts.
Entire commercial blocks in the Bronx and Brooklyn burned down completely to the ground.
Even notorious prisons like Rikers Island faced severe tension as inmates watched the city burn.
In hospitals, backup diesel generators roared to life, but some failed, plunging wards into panic. Surgeons continued performing open-heart surgeries using flashlights held by terrified medical students. Outside, looters even targeted hospitals and pharmacies, stealing prescription drugs in the dark. The morning light of July 14th finally arrived, but it brought no sense of relief or peace.
The sun shone down on a landscape that looked like it had survived a literal war zone. Police vans could be seen parked everywhere, overflowing with thousands of arrested citizens. Over 3,700 people were arrested, creating the largest mass arrest in the history of New York City. The financial toll was staggering, with property damage exceeding $1 billion.
Over 1,000 fires had been logged, leaving countless families completely homeless overnight.
Public anger exploded toward Con Ed, accusing the utility company of gross negligence. Investigations later revealed that the disaster was a combination of severe human error and bad luck. The city's reputation was shattered internationally, labeled by many as ungovernable and lawless.
Yet, beneath the ashes and the bitter despair, a quiet resilience began to take root.
Business owners and ordinary citizens refused to abandon their homes and neighborhoods.
Slowly, the power grids were safely re-energized, block by block, borough by borough.
Neon lights flickered back on, banishing the shadows that had terrorized the metropolis for a day. The scars remained deep, but the city's unyielding pulse started beating strongly once again.
Out of this darkest hour, a new spirit of unity and cultural transformation was born. In many ways, the 1977 blackout forced New York to face its deepest flaws and rebuild. It proved that even the greatest modern infrastructures are fragile and vulnerable to nature.
But more importantly, it proved that the human spirit inside the city could endure the absolute worst.
History never truly disappears. It leaves lessons etched into the very foundations of our cities. The lights came back on, and New York rose again from the dark ashes of its past. If this journey through history captivated you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below and let us know which historical mystery or city we should explore next. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the hidden depths of our past.